amazing Tuesday. I am doing quite well, all things considered. I will say it is getting a little bit tiresome fighting endless, meritless, vexatious, abusive lawsuits because literally, I don't know if you saw my video earlier today, but literally just today, there has been another slap lawsuit filed against me by the same freak who keeps filing these failed lawsuits. $500,000 in legal fees at this point. And as I mentioned in my last video, and I've mentioned before on this channel, this is obviously a group of people who are coordinating with one another. And whenever I say obviously, it's because of stuff in the public record. Like, for example, Jamie Gilmore, Gilmour. She was on live stream. Lima called her. Guess what she was talking about on the live stream? Me. She was disparaging me. And that same girl, Jamie Gilmore, she filed a declaration in one of Lima's lawsuits and then reneged that support. And then Lima and this guy, Brian Kuchar, both pretty much exactly the same time, tried to get restraining order against me at the same time in two different states. And I believe the reason was to stress me out emotionally, physically, financially, right? Because I was having to hire a lawyer that could represent in Georgia, a lawyer that could represent in California, and then a lawyer that could represent in New Jersey. There's like 3 different jurisdictions this is going on. Then Lima helped her sister, and Lima coordinated with the process servers. There's emails that show this in public court documents, which they tried to seal but are now unsealed when she tried in yet a 5th jurisdiction and silence me and steal my rights. Y'all have heard this story many times before. There's a court hearing going on in less than an hour right now. Literally, she filed yesterday for an emergency court hearing today. She did not give me notice. You know who did give me notice? The Lord. I woke up this morning feeling like, let me just check that docket. Something just felt like it, and that was the Lord. Take it up with the Lord. So I believe, because this is a coordinated group of people, I believe this qualifies as gang stalking. There are people who do nothing all day but report on what I am doing, nothing else, right? And I know that she would probably try to say that about me, but that's just clearly, frankly, not true. And it's demonstrably not true. Scroll through my channel, look how many videos I make about literally everything else. It's frankly a little bit of an inconvenience to talk about these losers. Like, I have other stuff to worry about than my own legal battles, but it almost feels like maybe that's what's going on. They want to distract me from what I'm talking. I mean, I really don't know, girl. I really don't know. But I asked ChatGPT just to examine, to investigate, to identify whether my feeling that I'm being gang stalked by a gang stalking organization, it's a feeling, it's just a belief. My belief and feeling that these are gang stalkers who are effectuating a gang stalking operation against me. Well, I asked ChatGPT the other day. I said, hey, ChatGPT, I'm nice to her at first. I'm like, hey, how you been? How'd you sleep? You got to be nice to ChatGPT because one day ChatGPT is going to be in control of us and it's going to remember who was mean to it. I'm just telling you. Okay. I didn't invent it. Look, I didn't invent it. I'm just telling y'all how it goes. Okay. So after catching up and making sure that ChatGPT was having a great day, I asked ChatGPT, how do gang stalking organizations or operations use litigation? That's another word for legal warfare, lawsuits. That was very interesting what ChatGPT had to say. I also asked ChatGPT how experts on the subject agree we should combat this type of behavior. Okay. So I'm going to read you why, according to ChatGPT, gang stalking organizations use litigation. ChatGPT says in a gang stalking operation, lawsuits can be weaponized as a form of legal harassment to exhaust a target. That would be me in this case. If this is true, if this is, if the experts are right, if the chat GPT is right, I'm the target. I'm the target. Because why? I'm directly over theirs. I did not forget, and I will never forget, that Dahlia Takali accused her own mother of trafficking her in December 2022 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the Tulsa, Oklahoma police took her away in handcuffs. Not the mom, the accuser. Anyway, ChatGPT goes on to say this type of harassment might involve fabricating claims or exploiting legal loopholes. to initiate a series of lawsuits that keep the target, me, constantly involved in legal battles. Does that sound familiar? Lawsuits being weaponized as a form of legal harassment to exhaust a target emotionally, mentally, financially. Does it sound familiar? Because it surely does sound familiar to me. Surely does. Here's how the lawsuits are typically used in such contexts. Number one, financial drain. Multiple lawsuits or prolonged legal procedures, which I mean, now I'm involved in like 8 of them with this lunatic. Like three restraining orders she's tried to get against me, plus the one she tried to help her sister get, plus the one she tried to help Brian Kuchar get, plus the others that she's threatening me with, plus the four complaints in the New Jersey federal case that she continues to lose. She hasn't been successful in one of these actions. Every single one she has lost, and it has been decided in my favor. 2 of them, she had actually paid me money. One of them, she owes $87,500, and one she owes $10,000 in sanctions. 2 different restraining orders that are now dismissed that she tried to get. We're going to be in court again today. Going to be in court again today trying to get a third one. Already failed to get the first 2. What other reasons beside a financial drain and creating ongoing financial stress does a gang stalking operation use litigation to harass their targets? What else? Number 2, intimidation and control. And I don't work for nobody else but the Lord. So take it up with him if you want to control me. Lawsuits may be filed to intimidate the target by invoking the fear of losing assets, damaging their reputation, or facing other legal penalties. In extreme cases, there can be an implicit threat of imprisonment if the target, me, doesn't comply with certain demands. Number 3, mental and emotional strain. This is the number 3 reason how a gang stalking operation might harass a target with litigation. Mental and emotional strain. Legal processes are often lengthy, complex, and emotionally taxing. I've been embroiled in these legal battles for well over 2 years. People don't want to come on my channel. People don't want to get sued. People don't want to be associated with me because they're afraid of this mental and emotional strain, of this financial strain, of this attempt to control them. And yet I still prosper. I mean, none of it's going to work. None of it's going to work. I'm going to continue to win. I'm going to continue to win. And the money that I need to defend myself in these lawsuits is just going to continue to materialize. It's going to poof out of freaking thin air if it has to, but I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I've already won 5 times. I've already won 5 times. 6. I've already won 6 times. I've already won 6 times. 4 restraining orders, I won. 2 complaints in New Jersey, I won. And I'm going to keep winning. I'm going to keep winning. Stalkers may exploit this to make the target feel overwhelmed and without support, right? They isolate you from your friends. Remember the other day I made a video that now these freaking weirdos from random Wondery podcasts are calling my friends up? Now, am I saying Lima sent that person? No, I'm not. Listen to what I'm saying. Because I think if Lima would have listened to what I actually said in my early videos, she never would have sued me because she would have realized that I was just saying opinions and facts from the public record. Stalkers exploit this propensity to feel mental and emotional strain to isolate their targets. You know, they do seem to be very upset that at first I said I was going to represent myself if Lima ever tried to sue me, which I would have. Absolutely would have if it was just her. But she came with the biggest guns blazing imaginable, a president of a law school and a celebrity defamation attorney who works in Beverly Hills. Okay. No, I'm not going to freaking represent myself against those people. 100 damn years of litigation experience between them. Stupid. But it does tell me something that it seems like Lima's upset that I have a legal team. It seems like she would prefer it if there were not any other witnesses to see what she is doing. It seems like she would prefer it if I had no friends. It seems like she would prefer it if I had no support. And look, ChatGPT is saying that that is what stalkers in a gang stalking organization do. Now, am I saying Lima is a stalker? No. Innocent until proven guilty. Am I saying she's not a stalker? No, absolutely not. No, I'm not, because I don't know. It needs to be sorted out in court, though. Why else does a gang stalking organization use litigation? Number 4, public defamation. And this is a big one. By filing lawsuits with damaging or false claims, stalkers, which again, I don't know if Lima's a stalker or not, maybe a court can decide pretty soon, can create a public record of accusations that, regardless of outcome, right? Lima can create a public record of accusations that, regardless of outcome, could harm the target's reputation. So how about whenever there were like 2 restraining order requests filed out against me? Do you know what they tried to do then? Do you know what happened? Whenever Brian Kuchar tried to file his restraining order and Lima tried to file her restraining order within just a couple weeks of each other, all of a sudden, there was an online internet campaign to get everybody to report my legal fund, my GoFundMe, basing it on these allegations. There's this bot account who I believe is paid by the enterprise. I believe. I don't know. I wasn't there. I believe it's a paid bot account who's paid by the enterprise. I have so much evidence for this too. It's crazy. But it'll all come out in court. It's all coming out in court. This bot account starts this like online campaign to get people to report my GoFundMe fundraiser. And this anonymous bot account is like, how is it at GoFundMe? How is it that that surprise witness has 2 active restraining order requests against her and you're letting her keep raising funds? See what they tried to do? They tried to use public defamation. Unproven, unsupported, false allegations made in court under penalty of perjury, bold-faced lies. They tried to use to take away my financial support, which, in my opinion, routes us back up to number 1, financial drain. So by filing these false allegations in court, I mean, we kind of see it going on with Diddy right now. Now, are those allegations all false? Probably not. I don't know, truly. But this is why I always say that. This is why I always say, I don't know, I wasn't there. Because people have lied. People have lied about me multiple times under penalty of perjury in multiple jurisdictions. And all of these people are intertwined with each other. Almost like it's a gang stalking operation. Almost, I don't know. Seems like it to me. This is especially damaging. This public defamation is especially damaging if the legal claims are filed with media exposure or in ways that are publicly accessible. So like Wondery Media, all of a sudden doing a podcast about me, going around like a little rat, like a little snake rat, trying to talk to my friends so you can make a podcast, trying to get all of the records from my court filings, my court cases, so you can put it in the media. What about the documentary that was interviewing everybody and anybody about the free BAM movement except the person who started it and the leader of it? Could it have been maybe those type of media exposures are relying on these false lawsuits? Number 5, prolonged surveillance and control. Legal actions often require a degree of disclosure, meaning the target might have to submit documents, that's me, undergo surveillance, or answer probing questions under oath. This is a way to maintain control, gather information, and keep the target under close watch. In this exact court case we're talking about right now with Lima, for example, she is a debtor. She owes a judgment. She's a judgment debtor. She has a debt that she owes because there's a judgment against her. She's now trying to get me to have to release all my financial information because she does. Girl, I'm not the one with the judgment against me. She has 2 sanctions and a slap. She's trying to get me to release my bank account statements to show how much money I've raised for the legal funds. She's trying to get me to let her in my bank account. Looks like number 5 to me. Legal actions require a degree of disclosure, meaning the target, me, might have to submit documents, undergo surveillance, which I absolutely have been followed. I've had a freak from Harris Investigations showing up banging on my door over and over again at all hours of the night for 2 years. Anyway, okay, so it says in these cases, the goal of the lawsuit is less about legal resolution and more about creating a destabilizing influence on the target's life. And this has happened to me. I'm 34 years old. I should already be married. I should be planning my family affirmatively. I cannot do that. Why? Because at any moment, this is why. Because at any moment, Linda Sharkey from Harris Investigations could be banging on my door. At any moment, Lima could be sneaking around like a little rat to try to steal my rights away. And I said it in my last video, just came out this morning. I said it in my last video. I said, it's starting to feel like that's the point. Because surely these people don't think. In the middle of recording. Oh, girl, I had to restart recording. There's so much stuff going on in my house. The new office is really, she's out there. She's doing it out there. Anyway, okay. So I did want to just go over with y'all what according to ChatGPT says that experts say you should do if you are a target of a gang stalking operation. I'm not saying I am. I am saying I believe I am. I am saying that it feels a lot like I am. It feels like this is a gang that's stalking me with lawsuits, but I don't know. I don't know if it's like a legal designation or what. Here's what the experts say you should do. Experts on gang stalking and organized harassment suggest a series of protective and resilience building strategies for those targeted. Here's what they recommend. Number 1, documentation. Keeping a detailed record of incidents is vital. This includes dates, times, places, descriptions of events, and any witnesses. Photos, video recordings, and copies of any written communications can help in building a clear, factual account of harassment patterns. Documentation can be useful if law enforcement, legal assistance, or other protective services get involved. Number 2, experts say you should have legal support. Working with a qualified attorney is crucial, especially if lawsuits or false accusations are involved. So remember how I told y'all that the bot accounts were so upset that I actually hired a law firm? I'm not saying anybody did anything. I'm not saying anybody didn't. But what I am saying is they do seem to be upset that I was able to hire a lawyer. And it does seem to be the case that they really don't want me to be able to afford it because my fundraiser keeps getting attacked. I keep getting silenced. And specifically the things that the bots are bitching about has to do with me raising funds and me having an attorney. Because why? Because probably they want me isolated. They don't want me to have no friends. They want me to have no family. They want me to have no money. They want me to have no platform. They want me to have no way to make money. This feels like a gang stalking organization or some kind of cult. They tell you to protect your digital assets, avoid isolation. Gang stalking often aims to isolate the target socially. Staying connected with friends, family, and trusted networks is essential for support and for countering the psychological effects of isolation. Well, I'm never alone because I'm God's favorite. So I'm never alone. Building a support group, even online if necessary, can make a significant difference. Mental health and self-care. Experiencing stalking can lead to anxiety, depression, or post-traumatic stress disorder. Seeking counseling or therapy, especially with professionals who understand trauma from harassment, can provide coping mechanisms. Avoid engaging directly with stalkers. I would never engage directly with any stalker. Or attempting to confront them often exacerbates the situation. Experts generally recommend minimizing responses as reactions can embolden the perpetrators and give them information they want. Number 7, public awareness. If safe, discuss the situation with a larger audience, such as online communities, advocacy groups, or public forums. That can be a way to gather support and make it known that the harassment is happening. This can sometimes deter the perpetrators when they know others are aware, which reminds me of the time that Lima wanted to file anonymous declarations on the behalf of Jamie Gilmore, Gilmour, and Brenon Emerald Sylar Bell, who both filed declarations and then recanted them. She wanted them to not have to put their names on it. And then finally, they suggest working with law enforcement in cases where evidence of harassment is clear and documented. Experts suggest approaching law enforcement calmly with comprehensive documentation, Some people find success in connecting with officers who understand gang stalking and take it seriously, although responses can vary by jurisdiction. By combining these strategies, the goal is to maintain stability, because remember what their goal is to destabilize. So now I need to stabilize if this is what's going on. This approach allows the target to regain a sense of control over their own life, which can be empowering in the face of organized harassment. I'm going to say it one more time. I don't know if it's gang stalking, if it's not. I don't really even know what the exact definition is. Somebody maybe can put it in the comments down below. But if you are interested in helping me to fight for my free speech and therefore all y'all's free speech, because if it can happen to me, that's set a legal precedent, and that means it can happen to everybody, I'm not going to stop fighting. You can strip me down to nothing. I came into this world with nothing, and I'm leaving with nothing. Whatever I have in the meantime, thank you to the Lord. That's all I really have for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, neither is opinions. Love you, Minute. Okay, bye.
Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my knee. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof. Inflame. Kids these days so shameless. Selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though. I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. I should warn you though. Backtrack, and you should've kept my name out your mouth. As we go, how it all